Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a good week. This is Angela with Wild Violet's Art, and today I'm going to be playing with the new scrapbook kit called Wildflower Celebrations Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. There we go. And it's just a lovely kit. If you recall, I played with the Wildflower birthday sweet collection and I created a scrapbook page out of that. Well, this is an all-inclusive kit where you just need to cut the pieces to create a really beautiful scrapbook. But you can also include the Wildflower birthday elements because they had all those punch outs that had gold foil. So we'll do a little bit of that today. And I am celebrating, or I'm going to be scrapbooking my granddaughter's, her mother's a baby shower. So Christina is no longer with us. So every time we have a picture of her, I'm trying to get those into scrapbook pages so that even though Kate wasn't around at that time, she can celebrate with us how wonderful her mom was and how excited she was to have her. So I know this says Wildflower Birthday, but it's actually Wildflower Celebrations Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. And it makes these really gorgeous 3-page or 2-page layouts. So this one is the one I'm going to work on today. And I'm also going to do these. And so once I get them all put together, I'll do a little video of it so you can see the final product. But I'll also have it on my blog. So this is a really beautiful bunch of papers. And some of these are exclusive just to the kit. And the colors that they have for this kit are, we've got Pool Party, we've got Peach Pie, this is Old Olive, Soft Sea Foam, I believe this is Pretty in Pink, and then we have the Blueberry Bushel, and and then the technique that this kit features is creating flagged ends from the paper pieces. So you can see that these are flagged. These are flagged here. And then in here, they've got some flagged items as well. And so let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So this kit includes, and I love that they do the Ziploc. So of course we've got the photo placeholders. So if you don't have your photos yet, you can also put these in, and they include 2x2, which I think is new. I don't think we've seen that before. So this is the sticker sheet, and you can see these flowers are just lovely. And then you've got 3 titles to the different scrapbooking. So you've got Special Day, Love This, Celebrate. And you know, it doesn't have to be birthday. This cake here doesn't have any candles. So I'm going to substitute this one for the one that has the candles because it's not going to be a birthday. It's going to be a baby shower. And then they have these little punch out items. And of course it tells you which project you're going to be needing it for. So I'm going to need, so yes, this has a candle, but I'm going to cut that off and cover it with a flower. So I'm going to need that. I'm going to need this. So this says blow the candles out, and I'm not going to be using that either. And then this is like a little journaling piece. I'll need this. And then there is a second page of cutouts. And so I'll need some of these green leaves. This is for project 3. And then if you notice on the front, I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but I'll show you here shortly. There are extra leaves that are not part of any of the projects. So that means that if you have enough cardstock, you could actually make another another layout, whatever it is you want it to be. So I just think that's kind of fun that they give you that opportunity to have a little bit of extra. So these are more leaves, and these are not designated to a project. So you can see you've got some extra. And then this little curly Q is also not part of one of the pages. And actually, I think I would like to, well, I'll think about it. But anyway, okay, so we've got stickers, we've got flowers and leaves. And okay, so then here's the cardstock. So this is very similar to the Wildflower birthdays with the cakes on one side and the pink stripe on the other. And then this one as well, but it doesn't have the gold foil. And then it's got a curly Q on the other side. Let me just, so you can see all of them. And then we've got the polka dot, which is new, and we've got this fun green check. So these are exclusive. And then they've got a single-sided with this blue little curly Q, and we're going to need both of these pages. And then they've got, this one had the gold foil with it, so that is single-sided as well. And then they've given some two-tone cardstock. This is in Pretty and Pink, and then this one is Peach Pie. And we're going to need some of the Peach Pie. So let me just pull that out. And then I believe I'm going to need some of this blue. But I'm wondering if I could use this instead. And then, let's see, I'm going to need some of the stripes. And I think that's it. Okay, so some coordinating items that go with this kit is the Wildflower Celebration stamp set. And there's one sentiment called Best Birthday Ever. And what I want to do is I want to use Best Ever, but I want to substitute Memories. And you can see that Memories is slightly larger. So I can create Best Memories Ever. And there's Let's Party. I think that's a cute one that could be added to the scrapbook page. So you've got some things that would be great, even if it's not, like if it's a wedding shower or a baby shower. I think that this Wildflower Celebrations is a really great kit for those kinds of things. So let's hold that here. And then the other thing that you can get is you can get the two-tone cardstock for Wildflower celebrations. So like I said, the Blueberry Bushel, the Old Olive, the Peach Pie, Pool Party, and Pretty in Pink, and Soft Seafoam. So those are the coordinating colors. And I love that even though it is, let's see, 6 different colors, it looks like you've got 12. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that they have all that variety because of the two-tone cardstock. So let's put this aside because I don't need all of this, but I may change things out a little bit because these are the colors of my photos. So disregard the red. I'm not real happy about that, but that's the grandma, great grandma, so it's important. So you can see that the pictures that I have are all pastels. So these colors are going to work perfectly for it. And I may want to change out a little bit. Okay, so let's put this aside. Oh, and then just as a reminder, this was the punch outs for the Wildflower birthday cardstock. So you can tell there's a lot of gold foil in the different papers. And they had all these gold foil elements that could be punched out. And so I've got a bunch of items that I might want to substitute just because of the gold foil. Like the balloons, I think would be fun because I had balloons all over the party. And I love the little gold foil elements to the flowers. And I love the cake stands that have the gold foil as well. So there's lots of pretty things that I can add to my scrapbook workshop kit because I also had this. Okay. And then one thing that I'm going to be showing you today, and I've been remiss, and I don't understand why I keep forgetting, but Stampin' Up! Is starting to carry a number of things like the flip flaps, which I can't wait to, I'm going to be using those today because I have like 28 pictures. And obviously I can't make a whole bunch of scrapbook pages. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this one down, and then I'm going to be adding this so that I can add some of the pictures for this special day, because there was just, it was such a fun day, and I wish I had more pictures of the people that were there, but I took a lot of pictures before everybody showed up, and it's just kind of a fun memory of Christina's baby shower. So anyway, so the flip flaps, they have 4x4, and they the 4x4 can go either way, so I'll show you that. And then they have 3x4, and again they have some that are from the top and some that have the on the edge, and they have 3x3, and again those can go either way. And then the 4x6, again they have some from the top, some from the side, or top, or some from the side, whichever it is that you're doing. So it gives you lots of options, and so I'll show you that as well. And then they have page protectors. So when the catalog comes out, the new annual catalog comes out in May, we'll have binders to choose from as well, which I'm super excited about. I used to buy the binders and the scrapbooking such. Okay, so the party dots came with the kit, but today I'm going to use the blooming pearls because I want to make it my scrapbook page a little bit more elevated, just a little bit more blingy, and I want to match some of the gold elements from the scrapbook, from the celebration Wildflower birthday pieces. So, and these pearls, I love these more for scrapbooking because it's hard to mail them when they're so thick. So we're not going to use these, but we're going to use these because they're just really, really pretty. Okay, so starting with our scrapbook page, we'll need both of these. So this will be our page base. And then we're going to need some pieces of these three in order to make some of our large flagged ends. And so let's work on that. And then we've got stickers and some of the other elements that are going to go into it. I'm still not sure I want to use this. I think this would be better for what I'm trying to do. Just looking at the photos. So I think I like this better than the blue, because I feel like this is more birthday-ish. So don't be afraid to change things up a little bit. Okay, so now let's figure out what size we need. So then I go, this is project number 3. You can see the 3. So then I'm going to look at all the papers, and I'm going to look for the ones that have 3 on them. Okay, so you can see there's different cuts required for each piece. So I'm going to cut it the same size, but I'm going to use a different side for that blue. I'm going to use the green instead. Okay. So starting with this one, let me get my cutter out. I'm going to need two pieces that are 5" by 9 3/4. But as you can see, this is the orientation of the paper for me to cut. I need to save a piece that is 10" by 1 1/4 from the top. So I want to go all the way over and cut it at 10 inches. I don't want to cut that into two pieces because I need one that is lengthwise along this side of it. Okay, so let's cut at 10 inches. And then I'm going to cut out the 1 1/4 piece. Let's do it from this side. It's easier. And I could set that aside for a different scrapbook page. And then this needs to be 9 3/4. Let me just take a look at it and see if it needs to be 9 3/4 or if I can let it be the 10 3/4 that it is. Oh. Yeah, it needs to be the 9 3/4. Okay. So that is extra, and then these both need to be 5 inches. Okay, so these are done. I do need to make these flagged, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. And then for the green, okay, so I need it to be 5 by 11. So just cut 1 inch off the bottom. And this one is done. And then I want the lightest of the two colors. You can see there's a dark and a light, so I'm going to do the lighter of the two. And so I want the pieces that I need for this. There are 4. Actually, I'm going to have to use both sides, the light and the dark. So let me just take a look, because I'm almost thinking for the flag pieces that I need for these two, do I want to go with pink instead of orange? Because I have a lot of pink going on. And I'm thinking I want to use the pink. So again, I'm changing things up a little bit, but I just feel a little better, I think, using the pink. And because I purchased the extra set of 2-tone cardstock, it's okay if I cut into these because I have the 2 extras. Otherwise, I'd be cutting into the backgrounds of these 2 scrapbook pages. So I have extras, so I'm going to change out the orange to the pink. And I think I'll be happier with it. Okay, so let's go back to, I'm going to use the orange, but I'm going to cut out pink instead. So I want 2 of them to be 4 by 8. All right, so let me just kind of make sure that I'm getting this right. Okay, so let me just cut off the 4 inches. And this is extra. And I'm going to make them both 8 inches. Okay, and then the darker side, I need 4 1/2 by 8 3/4. So let me do 2 of them that are 4.5. And they need to be 8 3/4. Okay. All right, we can start assembling now. Okay. So now we go back to the pages that show us our layouts. Okay. So as a reminder, I chose, instead of the blue, I want the green as my background. So let me put this aside because I only need one at a time. And just so you can see what I'm choosing to follow is this. And below it shows you the dimensions of where the different things would go. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put this green down, and it's about 1.5 inches from, so we're going to do a better job of marking this time than I did last time. So this needs to be about 1.5 inches over. That way I have something to line it up with. And then it'll be about 1/2 inch from the top. Okay, so we'll put this down. I'm going to use my tear and tape. And use it in 2 different places because this is a very large piece. And I'm going to just bend it over so that I can place it before I tape it down. Okay, so I've got that piece goes there, that one goes there, and I'm lining them up so that they just barely cover those little dots. And I'm going to bring it up just a little bit, making sure those little dots are hidden because I don't really want them to be showing up. And then I can hold on to my paper and cover it up. So that lines up perfectly. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to be adding my different pieces. Okay, so we're going to flag the bottom ends of these pieces. And so it looks like each one of them is flagged a little different. And so it's not important that they all be flagged exactly the same. And so what I want to do is I want to mark where the middle is for each one. So 2 inches is my middle, and I'm putting the 2 pieces together so I can flag them at one time. Okay, so I'm going to just cut up about 1 inch, and then I'm going to cut over to that 1 inch spot from the corner. Okay, so now I've got 2 that are flagged, and then I've got this one. So this one is 4.5, so it's 2 1/4 is the middle. Okay, so again, I'm going to go up, and maybe I can go up a little steeper on this one. And then again, I want my scissors to head right for that location. If it helps you, you can get a longer pair of scissors. So you can see these are flagged, just slightly different. So I'll put these two aside. And then this one is 5 inches, so 2.5. So we're just going to cut right up the middle. And then you can see where my line is, or maybe you can't, but I'm going to cut to the end of this line. And I'm going to go from the corner and then I'm going to go from this corner This is the easiest way I've found to flag something. Okay. All right, so now we're going to layer these pieces, and this piece is about 1.5 inch down, and it's 4.5 inches from this side. So it doesn't have to be exact, but I want to say that's probably where it's going to go. So let me just lay this down so that it kind of just keeps that place. And now I can add my tear and tape, which I just ran out on this one. So I'm not taping all over the place because I'm going to be adding stickers and photos over the top of it. And so it just helps me conserve a little bit on my tear and tape. And everything also gets put in a page protector. So I end up with, okay, so this 4.5, let me mark this, because it is a very big piece. And then I can make sure that I have it in the right place. There we go. And then now I can place this and this down below. Okay. So I want it to be just under, and this is, I think, where you can just eyeball what you think looks good. And then this one goes over the top of it, about right here. Okay, so now we can add the pretty things. So I have this picture here. But I want to be able to do, and they have the flowers overlapping an awful lot. So I'm going to have to pull the flowers back, because what I want to do is I want my flip flap to be able to be in my scrapbook page and work on the outside of my page protector, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. As you know, Stampin' Up! Has a nice pick a tool set that you can actually add on to your pick a tool that have this nice cutter, and I'm going to use that to cut a slit so that while you're looking at the scrapbook page, you can flip up and see all the pictures. Okay, so this is the picture that I want down, and then I'm going to slide this under it. So see, I want the picture about right here, and I'm going to center it between these two pink sides. So when I put it down, I'm going to make sure not to tape the top part. So that way I can slide this under and I have all those pictures. So let me show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I start low so that I can add that other piece up above. Okay. All right, so I'm going to I wanted to center them on the pink so that the pink was the same on both sides. I mean this distance here. Okay, and then I'm going to take this little piece right here and I'm going to slide it underneath my white cardstock. So my picture is 4x8 and so, or 4x6, and so I cut a piece of the white willow. So it's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 so that it just has a nice frame around my photo. And now I've slid this flip flap right underneath. And that way, when you're looking at the scrapbook page, it has this invitation. So it kind of tells you what's happening. It's the baby shower for Christina Moody, and it gives you the date and time. And Alan and I, my husband and I, were the ones that were providing it. So you see the flip flap? See how wonderful that is? So you've got more pictures that show what was happening. Okay, so now I need to be really careful about adding the flowers. So we have some of the leaves that are coming out here, and let's see. And then these will go up above. I'm really happy with the color choices. So instead of using that blue polka dot, I used the green instead, and I just feel like it's a little softer for this baby shower than having that. So, and I'm okay with that change. Okay, so now we've got these beautiful stickers that we're going to add. And let's see. So this is one of the stickers here, but because it's so large, it will overlap with the photo, which won't work. So if I have a sticker that goes over the top of it, you'll see that I can't lift up the flip flap. So I'm going to use one of these smaller flowers up above. And that way there isn't any overlap and I don't have a hard time trying to make sure that this flower works. So this is a sticker, so I kind of have to be careful about how I do this. And I also had additional flowers. So it looks like the sticker and this overlap. Let me see. I feel like it's too much of a repeat. I think I may trade where I also have flowers from here that I can add. So that might be a better idea. And I did say that I wanted to add some of these little gold elements as well. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, so we're doing a little something different just to kind of make sure that I don't have the overlap that they show in this. This is really pretty and I love that, but when you're wanting to show more photos, you can't do the overlap as much. So, okay, so let's just add a few of these. And I'm going to do these with by adding some dimension to my flowers. And then I'm just adding, I'm cutting my dimensionals so I have some little pieces that will work with things like the end of this flower or the end of this gold piece. So it kind of holds it in place. It does need another piece of something, so let's get a glue dot so that it stays in place. And then okay, and then I want this flower here. Oops, I do need this first. I'm just adding a couple of glue dots to help my leaves stay where they're supposed to. And then I can go back and add this little piece under the sticker. There we go. So I think that is just as pretty as this, but it's not overlapping over the top. Okay, so now for the bottom, again, I'm going to have to be really careful because I can't overlap where it shows that I'm supposed to. So I'm going to be adding these flowers. I can overlap over the flowers underneath. So I think that would actually be really pretty. The photo underneath can have a little bit of overlap. So let me just add this one here. And I can't use the blow the candles out because it has nothing to do with candles here. And I can also add these flowers here. And let's add a little dimension underneath it. Got one more flower that I can add right here. Give a little bit of separation between the pinks. So this is just perfect. Okay, so now I can just add the title, which is Love This. And if I don't want Love This, I can add Celebrate instead, because we're celebrating her shower. So a little switcheroo. You just make this into your own, and I love that. Okay, so now for the second page. So let me just show you how it will work before I go to the second page. All right, so these are the 12 by 12. They're the top load page protectors that will most likely go into a binder. And that way, if I need to pull it out, I can. So what I wanted to show you is I'm going to put this in here, but I need a line right there so that I can pull my flip flap out once it's done. So let me just show you. I'm going to put this in here, and I can see where I need the line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this, and I probably shouldn't mark it on with something that smears. So I'm going to use a permanent marker. I know that sounds crazy, but the page is where I want it. And I need this to cut all the way across from here to here so that the flip flap can come out and be down once my scrapbook page is in here. So let's use the foam mat that Stampin' Up! Sells. So this is their foam mat. And I'm going to place this here. I'm going to get my measuring tool again. And my flip flap is, let's go back here, is 4.5 inches wide. So I'm going underneath here, and this is protecting everything underneath. So I want to make sure that I've got a slit that is at least 4.5 inches wide, and it's along here. So I'm going to make sure it's just a little bit more than that. Yep, I didn't cut hard enough. Okay, so now it's cut. Oops. I had it on Do Not Disturb. I'm so sorry. Now we're back. Let me put it in place. And all right, now my scrapbook page is protected and my flip flap, and I shouldn't have done permanent marker because it shows through. Let's see if I can scratch that off. Note to self, mark it a different way. Okay, so you can see that when this is in the scrapbook, I'm going to be able to look at this page and flip the photos up. Okay, so that's the first page. Now let's go to the second page. And so for this one, these pieces, very similar. Are going to be something like this. And then I have this photo that will be here. And then I've got the smaller photo that I'm actually going to overlap with this one. But again, I've got a flip flap that will go over it like so. So one of the things I talked about was that I didn't want to use the birthday cake that this shows. I want to use this cake because it doesn't have any birthday items to it. Okay, so very, very pretty cake. And I think that I can add some of the other florals here to counterbalance that I was supposed to use in the other page. So I think it'll work out just perfect. Okay, so let's start assembling. So again, I'm just going to use let's mark it real quick. All right, so this is supposed to be 4.5 from the side. And it starts at 1 inch down. So I'm just doing little light dots so I don't end up with big dots that I have to cover up. Okay, I made the mistake of not putting it down just gradually, but we did okay. All right, and then these two All right, so this is the dark one, and it goes about right there. And the nice thing is I can just follow the lines here and just, that'll be my guide rather than trying to do any measurements. I'm just going to eyeball it. And so I'm going to be about right here. Do you want to come up a little bit so that it's, there we go. I just love this two-tone paper. It makes such beautiful scrapbooks. Elements. Okay, so then this one is going to go just below. And I want to line it up. Okay, so now I have a photo that I'm going to put here. And, you know, you can see that the scrapbook instructions had 2 photos, and I don't have 2 photos, so I'm putting one 4x6 here. So it still works out. And then I don't have a little one. Mine are all 4x4. And so then the other ones are going to go here. And I'm kind of trying to hide the red on the grandmas, great grandmas. So again, this is going to be under here. So I want to be able to make sure that I leave this side without any tape. So I'm just going to put the tape like so. And I'm putting a little extra here so that it has some support and the flip flap doesn't put too much pressure. I typically don't like covering up photos, but the red's just a little much. So okay. And then this, I'm going to have to wait because I have, for this kind of a flip flap, I'm going to have to make an incision like this and then slide it in once I have the protector on top. Okay, so now let's take a look at the stickers. So I've got this cake that I can actually overlap a little bit with this other photo because this other photo is not going anywhere. I'm wondering if I should put the cake down here. So I know that I have a little piece that's supposed to go here for journaling, but I think I can still do that. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I've got this really pretty flower that I think will tie in with that other page. And before I put it down too much, let's see if we can find a little bit more of those gold pieces. I just kind of add a little bit. Or I could put this down and use the sticker for something else. see if it's too late. Yeah, it's too late. All right. But what I can add is, do you remember how I told you that some of the elements there was extras? So I'm gonna pull out a couple of these leaves that I have extras of. So again, it ties in with the other page. So it's just a good opportunity for you to do you. Yeah, I like that. And yes, I just realized that I put this in wrong, so I'm going to have to toss this one because it actually should be the other way. Or I can take it out and redo it because it needs to actually be this way. So got lots of beautiful flowers. Need something gold down here, don't I? I think even just a flower with a gold center. Add a little bit of bling to this, I think would be pretty. So just one extra flower. Just a little extra gold down below. All right, and so this sticker is in place, and I just need to add this. And I can journal later. So that's all I have for today. Showed you lots of little things. Obviously, this is a big change from what the original design was for the scrapbook layout. But I don't know, I'm okay with that. You know, I think some changes are good. Let's just pull this up a little bit because I think I want this to be more on this side because I don't want to cover up all the little flags. Okay. I think this makes a beautiful scrapbook page. I did want to add a little sentiment we talked about, and then also adding some of these really beautiful pearls. So let's do that. That will help because there's some gold in here, and that will add some really pretty elements. Got a bunch of kitty hair. Big surprise there, huh? And just one more right there. So that's that one. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe and share with a friend. I love it when people share my scrapbook pages with their friends. You know, it helps my business grow. And I'm Angela with Wild Violet's Art. Again, I'll have this on my blog, so don't forget about that. The blog will be probably later next week. It takes me a few days to get them together. And I appreciate you watching today, and have the great weekend. And I'll see you on Monday afternoon or Monday evening. Talk to you later.